Welcome back to the Motivate channel, and today we want to talk about Chester Bennington. On 16 September 2017, Bennington posted a video of Chester Bennington having fun with his family and friends a mere 36 hours before he took his life. The video clearly shows Chester having fun and laughing and smiling with no sign of that anything's wrong, not a sign of depression. Now the question is, what does depression look like? People who suffer depression do not necessarily show the depression every day. In my case, it is something I keep one side because I don't want to show depression. I don't want to feel depression. I think Chester was pretty much the same type of person. He would rather show a happy, joyful side rather than the mopiness of depression. You cannot tell what someone is going through who's suffering from depression. Those who suffer from depression may often smile and even fill a room with laughter, and you will never know that they are depressed. In a radio interview with Jojo on KIIS FM in February of 2017, Chester said that he was pumped to be there at the interview. Chester said that he loved doing interviews because it gave him an opportunity to talk to his fans and to talk about what he loves to do for a living. During the interview, Jojo asked him about the song Heavy. Well, Chester commented, and I'm going to quote him directly. He said, "I don't know if anyone out there can relate, but I have a hard time with life sometimes." Here is someone who pretty much has it all, and he has a hard time with life. Why? Because of depression. Now, the odd thing about when you hear something like this is those of us who have gone through depression, suffering depression, or can easily identify it, know the signal and understand what he's saying. However, you are powerless to do anything about it. You sit there and you know what he is going through, but you are powerless to do anything about it. Some people see a statement like that as a cry for help, a plea for help, etc., but it may not always be. It is pretty much a statement acknowledging that he has depression. People with depression know that depression is a problem, but finding solutions to that problem is where things get difficult. And it is one of those rare things where you are your own worst enemy, but also your own survivor and your own doctor in a sense. You have to find ways to bring yourself out of the depression. And yes, there's medication and all kinds of other things. Medication for depression, though it is a good thing in many cases, it's something you have to wean yourself away from sooner or later. Some people perhaps stay on that medication forever. I was lucky I was able to pull myself away from it and find alternative ways to pull myself away from that depression. So further on in this interview, Chester continues, and I'd like to quote him. Now, listen carefully to what Chester says, and I quote him. He says, "I know that for me, when I am inside myself and I am in my own head, it gets. This right here, this skull between my ears, that is a bad neighborhood. I should not be in there alone. I can't be in there by myself." I'm going to put a link down in the description to this interview that you can hear him saying these words and you will understand. And I'm going to refer back to my previous video on don't isolate yourself. When you isolate yourself, You give your mind time to take control. If you have ever gone through a depressive state or depression or know someone, that time that you start thinking, that is when depression pushes you closer to the edge. It's not so easy to pull yourself away from loneliness. There are times you are going to be alone. The thing is to learn to do other things when you're alone and not think about those thoughts that you know are going to draw you down. The trick is to find things which keep you from thinking about the bad things, to keep you out of that bad neighborhood in your mind. I will read, I will watch YouTube videos, I will watch television shows, or work, or do a hobby. I've got a few hobbies or little things that I tinker with just to keep me busy, to keep my thoughts occupied. Because when you have alone time and you start thinking, it may be bad. I'm not saying alone time and thinking is bad. I'm saying alone time and thinking of those thoughts that bring you down is bad. And that is the lesson. Find other things to do when you have alone time. For those who do not suffer from depression, watch those people, watch those loved ones. When you are in that sphere where you have personal contact and you can support them, do support them. But do not try to take control of the situation. It may sometimes turn to other things, anger and fights and all kinds of weird things. It's different for every single person. Patience. If you do not suffer from depression, but you know of someone who does, and you can get close to them, have patience. It is appreciated by that person, and it is seen, even though it may not feel to you as if it's seen. I hope you have found some value to the video. Click that like button, subscribe, because I'm planning to bring quite a few more videos. And remember, stay motivated about life.